Sheesh, I tell you, that satellite presentation, that's something. That is a well-defined Category 3 hurricane, which more than likely become a Cat 4, and not impossible. At some point, it could briefly become a Category 5 hurricane. 5 o'clock advisory, top winds of 115, moving west-northwest at 9. Hurricane Center, as it usually does, they're very careful in doing any big swings on the track. Even though some models end up over here, you got to be careful that you just kind of keep some uniformity and don't start jumping all around. So for now, the track has been nudged a little bit to the east, and this line is pretty much up and down I-95. I think the nice thing, or the better news here, is that the trend is more east of us and more towards the coast. We'll see tonight at 11, and we'll see tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. if that trend continues to shift to the east. And we'll see if the models continue to shift to the east. I told you, going back a couple of days ago, that I thought there was the chance, wasn't a certainty, this storm would make landfall in Florida, and hopefully that chance I talked about of the storm becoming kind of like Matthew, paralleling our coast, could very well be in play. But the entire peninsula is still in the cone, so do not let your guard down this weekend. Stick with us. We'll have updates all weekend long. Storm looks like it makes a beeline for the peninsula, and then this happens, and all of a sudden the steering currents collapse, the ridge breaks down, a trough moves in, and you're talking about a big right-hand turn because of that happening in the upper level features, the ridge breaking down. It's going to be either an earlier turn, which is good, a later turn is bad, and somewhere in the middle is not so good as well, with a storm going right up I-95. We put together the GFS model in red and the European model in white, and in the short term, there's some pretty decent agreement. And then as the storm begins to head our way, still good agreement. The GFS starts moving a bit more to the north up towards Cape Canaveral. The European is a bit closer to the Bahamas. If you notice, though, compared to last night, they're starting to get a little bit closer at this time frame, indicating slowly getting better model agreement, and both of them now go up the coast, and that is why that turn to the north, I think, seems more likely, more reasonable, because we're starting to see most of the models start heading up to the Carolinas. Good news for us is not so good news for other people along the East Coast.